All right. Well, thank you all for jumping on. And I know today we're going to cover a couple different pieces of teams. Trevor was kind enough to jump on with us, and just a quick little intro. So, Diego and Trevor are peers. Sometimes they'll tag team certain items, we'll say. So, teams is a good one that we're going to bring Trevor on as a resource, just to kind of talk about that specialized portion of teams that you guys are wanting and seeing if that's a possibility. And then Diego is going to talk about our team's integration. And we've got Mike on the line as well, who I think that you guys have met him previously, or at least Robert has, but Mike is their manager. So we'll start with that and kind of just dive into that demo portion. But good to see you again, Classy. Good to see you again, Daniel. But yeah, and as far as I know, so Trevor, we're gonna have you start because he's not going to stay on this whole entire phone call, but we'll have him start and just kind of touch on that piece that you guys are wanting. That's a little bit more specialized, and again, see what we can do there, and then Diego's gonna take it from there.
Cool. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate it. So wanted to come on, talk to you guys about the teams portion that you want to do. From what I understand, talking with Diego, you guys want to have essentially a bot within Teams that when you reach out to it, maybe say a specific keyword, something of that nature, it will reach back to CXone and it will start a conversation with the support team. Is that in line with what we're looking for?
That's essentially it.
Okay.
Daniel, Classy, does that mirror what we're doing currently?
That does.
Yes.
Okay. And is there someone on your team that does the Teams bot development or integration, Daniel or Classy, maybe?
No, this was done by our vendor. I can take that one.
Okay.
So it was done by the company that supports our Pure Connect environment, which is not Genesis. They don't provide direct support.
Okay.
So we go through a partner.
And is that partner still going to be involved if and when you make a move over to CXone?
No, they are just a Genesis support resource for us.
Excellent. Okay, sure. So brainstorming with Diego, talking about this process. I will tell you, I've never done this process in Teams, but I come from about 7 or 8 years of Cisco deployment. And Cisco has an application called WebEx, I'm sure you're familiar with. Very similar collaboration tool. The idea within these tools, I'm not sure if you've got how in-depth you guys have seen, but you have the ability to make apps within these tools. They're essentially the bots themselves. And the bots will be listening for specific keywords, and then we can run code on the background when those keywords happen. So I was kind of throwing the idea back and forth with Diego. The idea here would be, and have you guys seen our CXone APIs?
I haven't.
Okay,
No.
let's start there. And if this gets too technical, let me know. If you're like, whoa, I was not expecting all this. That's totally fine. Let me open up that, and then I'll share that screen. We'll talk about it. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. So the idea here would be that we would use one of our open APIs. Now this is just our REST API documentation, and what we would want to do is work with somebody, maybe somebody internally, we can talk about that as well, maybe even on our side, or a partner that does this through our nice community of partners, if you will. We can talk more about that as well. To get the bot created on the team side, and the bot can have whatever name you want. It could be support, it could be, I was reviewing the video that you guys previously had, and it looks like that bot had a name and had a purpose. It did a bunch of things. But the idea would be that when we at that bot, when we say at support bot, whatever we're typing in at that point, we can then use the nice CXone REST APIs on the back end to go in, start a conversation with one of our agents, maybe send it over to a skill specifically. So we can say, if it's support, let's send it over to that support chat queue. And what we'd be able to do from there is then pull in an agent using normal CXone logic, using that routing that's already involved in our platform, pull in an agent. Agent gets assigned to that, what would be that conversation, or that session is what we'd call it. At the same time, your back office users are utilizing the bot still on Teams. Then when they send a message from Teams, it's going back to that agent. Agent sends a message from there, it's going back to Teams. So it's not an overly complicated deployment. The idea would be that somebody that knows how to develop apps on Teams would be utilizing the back end of the Teams bot to then do these API calls into your CXone environment. So the conversation would then have to become, who does that Teams integration? What I wanted to do, I didn't realize that we were going to do this demo. I wish I did, but what I was trying to do was create my own Teams app in our developer environment. The Teams app portion was not being kind. I actually have a help case in with Microsoft trying to figure out why that wasn't working. But what I wanted to do was show you guys how this would work. Unfortunately, I don't have that today. But again, the idea would be that we'd partner with somebody, or maybe even someone on our professional services team, and that might be a great takeaway for Diego or Brittany. Figure out if our professional services team can handle a Microsoft Teams bot creation. Again, that bot would then reach out to CXone when one of your back office users wants to use it, and we create that session between the Teams bot and the CXone agent. Any questions on that process? Any thoughts on if you guys think that would work?
No, that's exactly what we have in place currently, and the bot is not doing much other than brokering that connection and the communications between the customer and the agent. Currently, it has some capabilities that we're thinking of enabling later on, but that's what the company that supports our platform, they've built that integration for us. I think would probably be something that is not unique to Latham in terms of interest. So I think it would behoove a company like NICE to probably develop that internally, so you can offer it to anyone who is interested.
That's a great call out. And I will say, as somebody who's brand new to this process, kind of think of that art of the possible, because that's where my brain goes. What if we set up like a bot on the CXone side that took our back office users' requests and automated it without having to grab an agent? Let's say things like password changes, right? Can we just do this automatically? The bot would reach out to CXone, one of our, Smart Assist or Bot Builder bots or something would just take them through that process, reset the app, never have to use a human agent, which is where most of our cost is, and then pull it back to the user. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that's part of our long-term, thought process. We're just building up our, chat volume. I think the team that Classy works with is really just starting out to get some chat requests. We're only averaging about 300 a week for technology, where we're still at the 18 to 22,000 emails. That's the monthly number. So compared to about 1,200 chats, right?
Okay.
So we're really trying to promote, and it has worked. We've seen probably initially 50% increase the first week that Teams went live. It's back down now to about a 25% increase, but we're also starting the summer slowdown, which is pretty typical for Latham or law firms in general. So I hope that we can continue that momentum, right? And we don't want to put a bot in front of our customers right now, but when that volume gets to 5,000 per week, I think we're ready at that point, right? That gives us also a lot of runway to make sure that the bot that we do put in front of them is really polished and ready.
That's a great point. If they're not reaching out on the bot, how are they otherwise reaching out? Phone?
Email is our busiest channel currently, but phone is still pretty busy. I think we're on the tech side averaging about 7,000 calls per month still, so it's a significant number. Our customers are, I think, pretty savvy. When they have something urgent, they call, but they email for everything else, right? And a lot of those emails are not urgent enough to be a phone call, but they really should be a chat. Like a password reset, for example, right? If we have customers accustomed to dealing with live agents with that, today, then we have a bot in front of them tomorrow. Just if there's no agents available that can help them with the same thing, I think that will be a success in terms of them embracing the bot, right? Because I'm sure we've all had experiences with the bots of 5 years ago that led us to just not trying it again for a while, right? So I don't want us to go through that where our customers are finally ready to embrace chat, and then we put a bot that's not going to really service them well, and they decide not to use the channel at all because of that.
Yeah, I don't know how much you have seen, Robert, too, and I don't want to get too much into it. I know we have other things to talk about here, but we have a lot of technology behind our bots as well, behind the intelligence behind our bots, right? Like a password bot for us, for lack of better terms, is almost as simple as it gets, right? And everything from that is more advanced. We can take the guesswork out of what your clients, your law firms are going to be asking about. Maybe they do say, hey, I need to change my password. And it's like, yeah, I can totally do that. But maybe what if they say, and I need to get documentation on my Lenovo computer, right? Well, what happens when you tell the bot that? We have the technology as well to say, oh, they're asking for something else. Let's do something else with it and go from there. Because like you said, 5 years ago, if you would have done that, the bot would have said, I don't understand what you're saying. Please call this number. And they're calling the number anyway. So that would be something to talk about with Diego and Brittany for sure. Again, maybe phase 3, 4, 100. We'll see right down the road. But definitely an interesting thing as we start to get into the bot conversation of how we advance that and grow that.
And I just wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, Class E, people who are moving over to chat, because chat is going to be so much more beneficial than email. And like you're saying, Robert, it's just a lot faster. It's going to be better for your customers. Do you feel like, okay, first of all, it sounds like things are a little smoother, like customers are, not your customers, but your lawyers are adapting to it pretty well. Does it seem like that?
Yeah, for the most part, again, our workplace experience team, they're reception, right? So they're the intake of most of the external calls to the firm, but our customer base secretaries, attorneys, they're emailers. So
Yeah.
we're trying to drive traffic to our chat queues.
Hmm.
That's the way to get the quickest response. So it's
Yeah.
more of changing the customer behavior right now is what we're focused on.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be so beneficial when they do finally
Yeah.
start. Or I know it may be hard to move the masses over just because you guys get so many emails. But again, it's going to be so much faster. So the thing that Trevor was mentioning where we can bring in Smart Assist, we also work with Omelia. They're pretty comparable, but that is actually, I'm just going to jump in real quick and kind of tie this in because this will be mentioned at the end as well. But digital is a huge piece. So having Omelia be able to assist and to be able to do a lot of those interactions without an agent being involved, that would actually be the next demo that I would suggest for you guys. Because Robert, that's the last thing that I can think of that you guys were saying. This is going to be a huge piece to the puzzle that's going to be beneficial for your company and for your lawyers. So we can migrate towards that, but that was a great example, Trevor, of how that can be beneficial.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
agree.
Brittany.
It'd be great to see that and make sure we
Mhm.
slot in. Classy and I are working on about a 90-minute outline of content, right?
Yeah,
That we want
Yeah.
to very,
kind of
uh,
recap
put
it all.
together so that we can compare apples to apples, and everybody has, the same amount of time for each topic to show us what they have.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, guys. Happy to be on with you guys. Robert, next time I'm on, I'll wear my blue matching Under Armour polo that we talked about at the beginning. What a great shirt. Um, but yeah, so the first thing we'll need to do is try to figure out who that resource is that is the team's part. And we'll go to work on our part to make sure that we maybe have somebody for that. If not, right, we might work with another vendor. We'll figure something out for you guys. We'll take care of you guys there. But the idea, like I said, we create the bot on the team side, reaches out to our open APIs. We can create those sessions and chat back and forth. Very simple process. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Anything else, Brittany, we need? All right. You guys are
Okay.
awesome.
Thanks,
Have a
Trevor.
good day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And the baton's being tossed off to Diego.
Hey guys, um, So here, let me share my screen. Now, for today, we were mostly going to be talking with Trevor and figuring out the Teams custom integration that we had. But I was also going to give you a little tease of what the Microsoft integration looks like. Now, this is something, if you remember back when we had the service, I believe it was ServiceNow integration that we did with the CX agent. So you guys most likely already seen what the CX agent can do. Now, I'm going to show you guys how it's going to be implemented into Teams. I think it didn't share. Can you guys see my screen now? It should be coming up. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Now, I won't be able to do much on it because obviously I'm in a call with you guys, and if I do make calls, and I'll try to put one in there, I just don't want to put you guys on hold because I'm utilizing my teams, right? Now, the whole integration, again, it's going to be similar to the CX agent that we showed, the new agent interface that we've been talking for the past months and stuff. So it's going to be very, very similar. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding it into what we consider here the app space. Now, all we need to do in here, it's going to have to be added into your, again, into your teams. All you need to do is look for CXone in there. And this is what's going to be our pretty much our application. So once you add the application, so again, very simple steps, right? Adding the application. Once you have the application going, you're going to be able to see it here under your space. So you can even pin it so that way you can have it available in there. So it's really easy, just available. Once you have that agent interface in there, so I'm going to do is I'm going to log out for you guys to see the whole process. I think I signed out of the wrong one here. Okay, reloading. So what that's gonna do is I want to have the ability to show you guys how you guys have the three different legs. If you guys remember the three different legs that you guys can connect, it could be either a cell phone or it could be either the ability to do based on a workstation if you guys have a workstation, or it could be based on that soft phone. Here, let me log out of this one. Was I was trying to do. All right, there we go. So similar login. So if you remember similar login, and we just log in real quick. Bring this one in here. MFA token, two-step authentication. Okay, so here you go. You have the ability to either set it to go directly into a cell phone. So it could be a cell phone, it could be a desk phone if you guys have physical desk phones. It could be a station ID if you guys have station IDs that you guys could do, as well as the integrated soft phone. So integrated soft phone is just going to come directly into your computer. This is what's going to utilize pretty much your microphone. And if you're in a call, it's going to notify you that you're busy already. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to try something different. So I'm going to put in my cell phone. So it actually calls my cell phone to use that link that we call the second link to make that call, right? To connect that call. All right. Okay. Now, a few things that we're going to be able to do, and this is going to be released in the fall. Now, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to do the sync with status. So you can see here the syncs with status. What we're going to do is we're going to have the ability to do whenever you come available, we're going to be available, right? And whenever you're busy, we're going to be busy. Or depending on what the agent is doing, right? It could be on break, it could be, I don't know, logged out, logged in. So those are going to be able to be matching with what we have here. Now, let me just refresh here, see, hopefully actually it does it for us. Again, this is not fully released. I'm getting a sneak peek from the development team. There we go. So I put it into available, it automatically did it to available here. So it becomes available. If I switch it over to maybe, let's say, do not disturb, there you go. So it kind of does that switch for us, right? So whenever a call comes in, or maybe you're showing your presentation, it kind of puts you in that stage, right? Do not disturb, so nobody kind of calls you in there. So there's some stuff that we're going to be able to do directly from the two-way authentication based on what we call the two-way sync on the status. That's going to be able to do it directly there. When we put in a call, when we go into meetings, all of that's going to be reflecting later on. For the most part as well, when it comes to directory, we're going to be able to include those directories that are going to be available within Teams. Okay, so that's another feature that is going to be available. So in this case, let's say I want to look for Kevin. Okay, so Kevin, you can see he's logged out. So I'm not able to even give him a call or anything like that. Let me see if anything or anybody's available here. Let me try Mike. Well, there's a couple mics in there. Most of them are locked out. Again, not everybody is using this instance right now. Let me see myself. I can even see myself. So that's what's gonna look like when someone's available, ready to take a call. So what we can do is we can do a little bit more in there, find more information. If they're available, we can send them a call, transfer a call, and that's gonna go directly into their Teams application. Okay. So now we're utilizing the actual license that we actually purchased with Teams, which is gonna be either, I believe it's like an S3 or S4, S5, whatever the license, minimum license you require for you being able to have that specific call coming in.
So you're showing right now, just you're searching for other agents, right? But
Yeah, I'm just searching for other agents based on that directory that I have with my MS
right.
Teams. Yeah.
But you could have the whole company in the directory and use it to transfer calls, inbound calls out to them, correct?
Of course, yeah. And
Could
you
you
can
show
have
us that, like, are you able to show us what that would look like?
yeah, well, I can make a call. I'm not quite
Mhm.
sure if anybody else it's available to take the call. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
but
I was
even
saying.
if you call a Teams user who is not logged in, you get their voicemail, right? So you can
Oh,
still
yeah.
transfer a call to them.
Yeah.
I would think you'll just get their voicemail.
Yeah, we can try that. Here, let me make it outbound and let me actually stop sharing and share with the audio so you guys can hear it. Okay, close computer audio. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is first of all, I'm gonna call my cell phone. In this case.
Well, we would want to see an inbound call, right? Do you have a queue set up to take an inbound call and then show us transferring it out to someone
Let
in
me do.
Teams?
I don't think I have an inbound queue set up on this instant for this specific Teams because I'm borrowing it from the development
Okay.
team.
All
Yeah,
right.
I can make it outbound, but it should be similar, right? It's just that obviously we answer the call. We're doing more like a warm transfer. Um, so we'll just select, say, they just gives me two different outbound. Okay, it's gonna be calling my cell phone. Just give it a second there. Okay, so calls coming into me. Oh, you know what? I'm using that lake. If you remember, I'm using that lake to call. Give me a second. Let me choose a different number. Okay, that's gonna be 530, 237.
Kind of seconding what Robert mentioned, it just the
Mhm.
nature of our roles, it would be helpful to see that inbound uh, in transferring.
Yeah, of course. Alrighty.
Call from
Nice CXone.
to accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Okay, so
Okay, so
was
this
able
would
to.
be like the inbound call, right? That we
Yeah.
just picked up, and now that you would transfer that out.
Let me just transfer it out. Let me see if anybody's available. Now, remember, we're gonna have to go into the Teams, and then from Teams, we're gonna be able to look up. In this case, let's do Mike. I don't want to bother anyone else. So Mike's logged out.
Would it be possible to transfer this to an external number if you needed to, rather than somebody within Teams?
Yeah, I mean, you could type in the number if needed. Yeah, once you go on all, you'll be able to do it. Now, it doesn't let me. So if you notice here, it doesn't let me send it to someone that's logged out. I'm clicking on them. It doesn't let me. Maybe it's a limitation right now, but this is something that I can. Hey, we're testing it out right together, so I can actually type it out. That doesn't let us actually send it out once you're logged out. Again, it might be a feature based on the what we call contact center because they're
Yeah.
not available. We're not going to be able to deliver something to you.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, if we include this in our final demo, right, we would want to see the full agent experience from picking up a phone call to transferring it out. So of course, this call is just to talk about what we will want to see, and we're kind of torn about, given that we'll have, I think, at most 90 minutes to put together all this content. Do we want to show Teams, ServiceNow, and the native UI, right? We
Right.
might have to pick 2 out of 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
And
plus,
and
not
remember,
everyone will have a Teams one, so I don't know if we should include that one. But let's see where it goes.
yeah, and another thing that we've been doing is we can record the content for you. Again, we do have that landing page for you guys. So at any time, your other agents, whoever is going to be using Teams, right? Because like you said, not everybody's going to be living in Teams. Whoever it is, they can just go in there and watch that content. But yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to follow back as an action item to see why it's not letting me, right? Let me just look for
But it will
myself.
let you if you do like another directory, or I mean, I think Classy maybe would want to see the full transfer and maybe even consult. I saw a consult option.
Yeah, correct. So in here it's both, right? It's both consult and transfer. Now, again, it might be just the limitations. It's not fully out.
Yeah.
I believe it's gonna be out in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks available in our business units, which I'll be able to demo it more better for you guys, I want to say, rather than just using the development team that I have here.
Let's see if you can pick someone else or enter a
Yeah,
phone number manually so that we can see the full
yeah. Let me enter
transfer experience.
another phone number here. So I'll do the
You can
408.
so you can
You
call
want me
my
to?
phone number, Daniel, if you want.
Yeah. What's your number, Mike?
407 405 7729. So I've
There
got
you go.
construction going on here at the house, so I've been muted most of the time.
Alrighty. So see, now it actually gave me the two options, right? We can either consult or we can
Yeah.
either transfer it.
Let's try
Okay.
consult.
Okay, so we can consult. Okay, we'll make sure we select the outbound skill. Now, the difference on the outbound skill is just to identify which phone number you want to use, right? As your dialing phone number. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that right now. Puts us on hold, which is pretty loud.
Yeah, so that's Diego, you have to join us together. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't echo too bad.
So I can hear the background in there.
Thanks for showing us that.
Yeah, there you go. So Mike was able to answer that. And then at this point, I can either leave, have them do their conference, or once Mike actually decides to leave, is going to end the whole conversation or the whole interaction for us. At that point, we can either grab this whole interaction, and what we can do is we can either send it into our ServiceNow, which we can create again a task. We can attach it to depending on the level of customization that we want to do. Like we remember, we can create a lead, a customer, a ticket, and stuff like that. So that'll be upon release, right? What we want to create upon that release. We can even do it based on the disposition codes as well. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna end this conference. There we go. So that should end it.
I have a question. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
go ahead. Yeah,
So
yeah.
on the outbound call, you choose you choose a skill that determines the outbound phone number. So it could be that the service desk or your personal line you could
Mhm.
be calling from.
That's correct.
Okay.
A
Or
lot of
I
the
suppose if you
times,
had multiple.
exactly. A lot of the times, people you want to use like presence for area codes, or maybe just showing your personal phone number, or maybe even the company phone number, right? So you can have options in there. So we'll just
Okay.
be able to do it based on that skill and selection that we have here. So once we enter a phone number, let's say, for example, you'll be able to select, once you make a call, you'll be able to select that skill. I only have two. That's a default, I guess. But you guys
Okay.
could name them, rename them, name them whatever you guys want in there. It could be personal, it could be company phone number, or it could be just local presence to show that area code, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, a little sneak peek of what it looks like. Everything else will be the same. Like if you remember, all the different history is going to be available in here. All the different queues, how many calls you got sitting on the queue. So all of that is going to be very similar to the CX agent. And like pretty much Robert said, we can decide which one do we want to show in our demo, in our final demo, so that way we don't do repetitive, pretty much showing the same thing, right?
This does look a lot like the, if from what I recall, the native CXone agent UI. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, yeah, of course. And actually, I'll pull it out for you guys here. I have it on my other screen. It's
If I remember
honestly
right, it was created in Chromium. Is that right?
exactly. So it's created in
Okay.
Chromium, so you can use it on Edge as well. I believe a lot of you guys are using Edge, so let me just log in here. So I'm logging into that one. So it's honestly it's the same thing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's the same thing that we have for that one. So yeah, we won't do repetitive stuff. So we'll just show whichever needs to be show, and then for the rest of the other ones, I can record those sessions. So whoever needs to have Teams or whoever needs to have service now, they can go in there and take a look how their agent is gonna look like. They can even use it for training. Let's say once they are implemented, they can go back in there, watch the video on how to make a call, how to receive a call, how to answer a text and stuff like that. So I can set up those videos for you guys. But yeah, everything else is the same. You guys can see in here, I have my schedules, and then as I hop into the other side, everything's gonna be pretty much the same thing. Really, we even have the custom workspaces where we can even see our expert. Expert, it's our knowledge base articles that we have. So you can see here, maybe on travel. Let me see if any of them have information. There you go. So that's how our pretty much our expert pages will look like. So once your agents are being asked questions, they can come in here, expert page, search for something, or as they're talking, we can base it on keywords, key phrases, and maybe say something like, "Oh, I need help, maybe canceling my flight." Okay, anything related to canceling or booking or anything like that, based on that intent, we'll be able to provide your agent assistance for that. But again, that's another whole demo that we can do, like Brittany said, with Trevor, based on that Amelia team.
Can that be used as an overlay for a ServiceNow knowledge base? Like, so, I mean, we've got a lot, all of our knowledge is in ServiceNow, so, but it would be nice to have it integrate in that
It's
Oh
a
way.
yeah,
great question. We've talked about that before. I don't think we have touched bases in a while. Will we be able to pull the same, use the same behavior, but pulling the knowledge from ServiceNow?
yeah, it'll be the same behavior. I'm actually pulling it from our expert page. So again, this expert page lives in a Chrome browser again. So we're just doing API pulls to it. Yeah, so it'll be the same. You guys will have your ServiceNow knowledge base here. Yep. And then the last one will be once I go into workspaces. We actually do have and I'm not sure if we actually have gone over this one. So I'll show you guys on this side of the screen, so it's bigger. Um, this is one is performance management. So if you guys want to do anything like gamification or anything like that, that's going to be available as well for your agents, not only to view reporting wise, but they'll be able to see what the overall company is doing, as well as if there's any, again, gamification going on. Like if I like, there you go, like I need to do a daily call SLA, right? Or limit. How many calls do I need to complete within a day? Who's on top of the leaderboard? The KPI comparison. So all of that's available in here. Again, if there's any challenges, any games available, I'll be able to see that, as well as any milestones, any badges that I actually have won based on those specific games that I have won. So all of that's available in here. Again, this is more on um, on gamification and performance management. But yeah, all of that's going to be available. Everything's going to be in the same agent interface. It's available in here. It's available here.
Do you have any ServiceNow web pop enabled in either that you can show us? I think we saw the ServiceNow integration, but I don't remember if we've seen the web pop from either the native CX UI or, of course, Teams you're just showing us today.
You mean like you want to have it within our application, like a piece of ServiceNow? Everything happening in here, let's say.
Right, like let's say I'm logged in as an agent, I receive an inbound call, and I want to pop the customer ServiceNow profile or a new interaction for that inbound call.
Oh yeah. So that'll be separate out of the embedded agent in ServiceNow. So let me move this out of the way. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm happy to see it in the embedded agent again, but I was curious if that was possible from within the native CXone UI.
Oh yeah, it is possible. So here, let me do a screen pop. Let me just make sure it actually there we go. Let me just make sure it's actually going to be able to call the right one. You guys will be able to hear it.
Thank you for calling CXone. For online sales, press 1. For
Okay, let me just wait for that leg to connect to my phone. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So for this one, what I have is this is going directly into Salesforce. I'll create one for us where it goes into ServiceNow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is pulling
But I
directly
mean,
from
same
my
concept,
Salesforce.
right? Can you show us
Oh.
what we're pulling in from Salesforce, or how
Yeah.
this looks like? Well, it looks like you do have a ServiceNow hook right there.
Oh, there you go. So it is
Yeah.
ServiceNow. So it'll be pretty much this. Once we actually do the screen pop, I mean, obviously you need to be logged in into your ServiceNow, and then you'll pull that information for that specific customer. So that'll be right here. So we do it based on either if we are able to 1-to-1 ratio, 1 to multiple, 1 to none, right? If we're able to find a record, we'll bring it up. If we're not able to find it, well, we're going to take you in there, create a new customer, or in your case, create a new a consumer here where you're going to be able to create a new environment for them. So whenever they call back again, we'll be able to detect that phone number and pull their
Yeah,
record.
we could. We probably wouldn't do that, but just the concept of being able to pop either the profile or a new interaction record is what we want to make sure we show. So to confirm, this tab, now that you're logged in, should pop inside the CXone tab that you have in the first
This
position
one right here.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to have it living within here, it'll be available in here. So that way your agents don't need to leave the agent interface.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're still of the mind that most agents will want the single pane of glass in ServiceNow, but it will be great for them to have the option of doing it in the native CX UI, or to have a third option to do it in Teams. That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
People have preferences, and if it works exactly the same in all three, we'll be in really good shape.
Yeah, it'll be vice versa. So they could work out of anything, whatever they feel more comfortable, I want to say. Alrighty. Anything else? Any questions? I have some takeaway action items. So I'll work with our team to find out pretty much all the answers. Like I said, we don't get through everything. I mean, we're showing the same UI, but I'll record those demos for us because I know maybe we even have them recorded, but I'll record it a new one so that way we have all the features included, nothing's left out, and again, you can use it for your agents once they go implementing for training. Back to you, Brittany. Anything else I need to show?
I just have a couple of questions. Is there, because I know that we're going to have a few things in our fall release. So Robert, is there anything that you feel like is lacking within the Teams integration, or something that we can dig into just to see if it is going to be part of that fall release, or is this encompassing everything that you guys are wanting to accomplish?
I think the ServiceNow piece is a pretty big one, but it sounds like maybe that just needs to be configured. But if that's not already, developed or being developed, I think that would be an important one to include.
Okay.
I think that whichever solution we go with, that we have to have, or whichever UI we go with, has to have a single pane of glass so that our agents are not jumping around between multiple screens anymore.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of our platform. So I can see where you're seeing whether it's within that ServiceNow environment or whether it's within that Teams environment.
Yeah.
So yes, we agree. We love that. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to discuss is obviously, so I've already talked to, his name is Brandon Pineda. He works over at Amelia, and we were discussing some of your guys' wants, your needs, and wanting to schedule a demo to kind of show you guys how Amelia would work with Latham and Watkins, and to show you those bits and pieces, because right now this is kind of, we've shown a lot of those foundational pieces that basically any contact center is going to need, and how you guys are going to service your lawyers, how you're going to help your agents, the visibility that you guys are going to have. But creating a lot more of that automation is where he's going to, and again, this may be a future thing, but it's going to be where he can show you where they can shine in that department. So even if it's not something that you guys are going to use right away, where you're sitting and saying, here's what we want in the future, here's our end goal, he can at least show that to you. And it might be something where you guys are like, actually, this is something that we could do now, but it will leave that up to you to see if it's something that
Yeah.
would be beneficial at this time, or if it is a future endeavor. But we
Yeah.
at least want that to be in the back of your mind. That way you can see how smooth the process would be, how we all work together. But anyway,
100%.
that's
No,
the
I
next
agree.
step.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I think, we've been planning on shelving that for now, but it would be great to include, even if it's just 10 minutes towards the end of our final demo.
Yeah.
I think we still need to wait until the chat volume is there,
Yeah.
but to have, the solution ready and just work on building the volume would be a pretty good position for us to be in.
Yeah. And chat is really just like one arena that it can help with. So Brandon will at least be able to show you the different arenas that it can help with. And then Classy, Diego, I hate to put you on the spot, but Classy, I know that you had a question about having multiple inbound calls, and it would be having, I from what I can gather, it's basically answering, putting on hold, answering, putting on hold, answering, taking each one of those at a time, but being able
Yes.
to accept multiple inbound phone calls. Diego, I believe we got the answer for that, or Mike, I don't know if either of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we have a call parking feature. We can do that. So we can have an agent take a call and then put that call essentially on hold. It would park that call, and then they would be able to accept another one. So they can have all of those in a bank there where you can select them. I don't know if we have that available to show right now. Let me see. I can try and see if it actually works in my environment. Give me a second. I'm going to test it out real quick.
What Mike's saying is, it's honestly, it's all going to be set up within Studio, our Studio application that we went over. So that application, it's just going to be one of the tools icons that we have in there. So that's going to be included into a skill, and that skill is going to be able to either just have assigned, let's say for instance, Casey, where she's going to be able to answer all those calls, put them on park, and then once they're put on park, she'll going to be able to obviously go back into those calls and be able to pick them back up, just in case she needs to transfer them or put them somewhere else, right? But yeah, that'll be another feature that it's included within our Studio scripting tool.
And you guys have a limitation of 3 that you're wanting to do, just a maximum of 3, right?
Maximum
Okay.
3.
I didn't know if you wanted like unlimited, and I was like, okay, let's see what we can do with that. But
Yeah, don't say that too loud. Yeah, they
yeah.
might be a offer. Yeah. But
Okay,
yes,
We
if
will
you,
yeah,
we'll
it's
build up their chat volume enough that they won't need it anymore by then.
yeah.
that's honestly, that's the end goal. It
Right.
truly is. Like, it would be so much better. But
Yeah, we can set that limit in there too. So
Okay.
if it's a max of 3, we can set it at 3.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be helpful to, with those interactions or multiple interactions, being able to see those calls being transferred, the directories populated with, firm contacts and transferring externally. All of that is part of our day-to-day workflows and will be really important to my stakeholders.
Mhm. Okay. And Mike, I know that you were testing it. I don't know if you have that available. Like, if you're able to show it, great. If not, then we can, it might be one of our takeaways where we can at least show you a quick little 5-minute video of
Yeah.
what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I might have to. What I could probably do is get Diego, you logged into our B32 environment?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can add that skill to you. And you do it. So you just make an outbound call and then choose the demo preset call out.
Got it. Okay.
Let me see if I can find that. All right. You should be good to go now. Sorry, they're making so much noise here. I'm having to mute myself every couple seconds.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, Diego, I don't know if you're able to do that now or not. But you should
Yep.
be able to make an outbound dial in the CX agent and choose
Give
that
me.
demo preset outbound skill or call
All
out.
right. Let me see if I have it here. I don't think it's in my agent yet. Might be a delay. Here, let me show you guys. Should be under outbound
Sorry, I
skills,
was
right?
on mute. That's it. Demo preset call out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and make a call. And then your indicate button should have when you accept.
Any calls connected. I'm assuming it's going to be under here. There we go. So once we put it on park, we'll give it a friendly name. So this will be Mike. There you go. So Mike is on hold. Now, keep in mind, it opens up a new Chrome app. I'm not sure if it's a default, but I can find out for you guys later on why it's doing that. Do I put in another one? Maybe I can put another one in there. Yeah, let's try another one. 530. Totally no that number. 530. 37, 35, 15. Seems like it's attached to it. All right, we'll play around with it, but you guys can kind of see it there. It is available in there. I'll just have to pretty much play with it, how I can configure
Yeah,
it and how it work. But yeah, it'll be the
I
park
think it's
feature.
only set for one.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's the problem. It's only set for one call. So we'll have to change the settings.
There's that limitation instead of the 3 right
Yeah.
now. It's that's 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So yeah, we'll put at what 3 or probably even more. I mean, we don't want to overload Casey there with a lot of stuff. Chasey there. But okay. But yeah, it'll be to the park option. And again, I'm not sure if it's a default option that it actually pops a new pretty much Chrome application or page.
Yeah,
But
look into that, because I think
that's
so. Just from this little demo so far, this is not going to work. Right now, it's like super easy for them to just click hold,
yeah,
and then take the next one and then pick the previous one up. So we have to make it as easy as it is right now, or easier.
exactly.
And those calls being held, are they you want to be able to go back and choose the same one, or where do those hold calls go?
They go into the agent's queue. So each agent will have a queue where the emails and calls and chats, whatever they're handling, they can easily get back to in that queue. So they take a call, and if they're offered a second one, they'll put that first one on hold. answer the second one. I think then they'll put the second one on hold and go back to the first one, right?
Right.
Dispose of it. And they have to do that very quickly. I don't think within a pop-up,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to work. But yeah, we'll play around with that a little bit more with that workflow in mind.
And one question around that, would the agent that receives that call and puts it on hold, are they the ones that would receive that call always, or would that call potentially go to someone else?
Someone else. It's just,
yeah.
the agent that was next available in the ACD queue that received it this time.
Right, but if I put you on hold,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back and choose you again and talk to you, or would you
Yes.
go to potentially Diego or
Yeah,
someone
it
No,
else?
no,
stays in the
absolutely.
agent's queue, right?
Yeah.
It's
Same
Okay,
Got
agent.
it.
it's
Yeah.
stay with that agent. Gotcha.
yes.
Okay.
And basically you guys just have it on that same screen so that they can click from like one to the next to the back. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Just avoiding the pop-up. That's good to know. Thank you. Okay. I will do our usual. I'm going to download this recording, and then I'm going to put it on that digital landing page for you. How have you guys felt about the digital landing page? Like, I want it all unified and a place for you to access that content. Have you had any issues with it? Do you feel like it's easier to access it that way? I kind of just want to know from your company standpoint how it's been working.
From my point of view, I really like it. I have to go back in and review things over and over again, so I really like how it's set out. It's quite easy to tell the difference between what's a recording, what is one of your presentations. I
Mhm.
actually like the landing page, so thank you for that.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thank you. Okay, perfect. It takes a minute to download. So once I get that done today, then I'll just upload it to the landing page and then shoot over some dates and times. We are going to, so Diego's got a couple of takeaways as well. So we'll work
Mhm.
on, well, hopefully showing you guys if we can, we'll work on this little parking thing and see if we can keep it all unified on that same screen. And then if we have little snippets of videos that we need to send you as well, then I can get that sent over to you. Little recordings that Diego's going to do. And we actually already have Trevor's hot on it. So we've got the partner that we would be working with for the Microsoft Teams side. So anyway, we'll keep that ball rolling and make sure that we're able to do the bot within Microsoft Teams. But is there any other questions that you guys have? Anything else that you guys are needing?
None from me, just looking over my notes. None that come up at the moment, but I'll review the video again and see if I have more and reach out.
Okay. If anything pops up, email me, call me,
Yeah.
text me, whatever works. That's fine.
Will do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping on. We'll be in touch, but my door is always open. So just reach out if you need anything in the meantime.
Thank you. I appreciate the
Thank you.
preview. It is, I think,
Sorry, I missed the beginning.
intriguing to possibly do everything in Teams. So you guys are the
Mhm.
on the cutting edge, the first one of the vendors we've been talking to that has already brought the agent experience into Teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing
That's
more.
great.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
We'll
thank you
talk to
guys.
Thank
soon.
you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.